From the crest of the hill we saw it, like a vast scar on the green German landscape, a city of low gray barracks surrounded by concrete walls on which guard towers rose at intervals. Ravensbrück. Like a whispered curse, the word passed back through the lines. This was the notorious women's extermination camp. These are the words of Corrie ten Boom, an ordinary Dutch woman who became extraordinary when Nazis invaded Holland in World War II. Ordinary, just like you and me, but extraordinary because she had the courage to help her fellow man. Whether it was helping the Jews escape the Nazis, helping the Jews find hope in a concentration camp, or helping them heal after the war. Corrie was 48 years old. She was unmarried and worked in a watchmaking shop. She lived just above the shop with her sister Betsy and their father. They lived in a town near Amsterdam. They knew many of the families in this town, especially the Jewish families. So when the Nazis began to arrest the Jews, her Jewish neighbors came into the watchmaking shop and asked her for help. She took them in and began to look for people to help hide them. Word spread, and many Jews came, more and more, but she never turned anyone away. Eventually, Corrie built a secret closet behind her wardrobe shelf. It fit 6 people standing up. Many Jews hid there during Nazi inspections. For a year and a half, Corrie's home was the center of an underground ring, and she was the ringleader. She had 80 volunteers like herself who risked their lives to help hide the Jews. Corrie wrote about these risks in the book The Hiding Place, where she tells about her life. I read this, and one of the stories that especially touched me was the story about how they save some orphans. Dr. Ken Snyder, a renowned professor of history, described this amazing rescue. On one occasion, news came that a Jewish orphanage in Amsterdam was about to be raided and all the babies killed. The 10 Boom Underground went to work, utilizing German army uniforms given to them by those who had defected. Dressed as German soldiers, the underground workers arrived at the orphanage, demanded the babies, and took them to safety. Right under the Nazi noses, the lives of 100 babies were saved that night. All in all, Corrie saved 800 Jewish people. However, eventually the Nazis found out about Corrie and arrested her sister Betsy, and their father. Although Corrie had saved many Jewish lives from going to a concentration camp, she found herself going to one also. Shortly after being arrested, Corrie's father died. Corrie and Betsy were packed into a train like livestock and sent to Ravensbrück. Upon arrival, she saw gas chambers, cremation ovens, where they used them to burn people alive. However, according to Museum of Jewish Heritage, 92,000 people died in this camp by starvation, extermination, and weakness. When Betsy and Corrie had arrived, they were searched. However, Corrie was able to hide a Bible underneath her dress. They were sent to Barracks 28, which was infested by fleas. But this actually turned into a blessing for them because since of the fleas, the soldiers wouldn't come into the barracks at night and torture these women. So Betsy and Corrie were able to read from that Bible out loud to these women. As Corrie stated, these were services like no other. These times in Barracks 28, with each moment, the crowd around us would swell. packing the nearby platforms, hanging over the edges until the high structures groaned and swayed. These women, who were full of hate and despair, began to be full of hope and faith. Later on, her sister Betsy died, but by a clerical error, Corrie was put on a list to be released from the camp. A week later, all the women her age were sent to the gas chamber. After the war, Corrie taught many people about faith, hope, and forgiveness. She wrote many books and gave many lectures. In conclusion, she faced many challenges. Corrie helped the Jews escape, she helped them find hope, and she devoted her life to heal her fellow men. Although Corrie is gone, she is not forgotten. As New World Encyclopedia notes, Corrie was honored by the State of Israel. A tree was planted along the avenue of righteous Gentiles in Jerusalem. It's Corrie's tree. It was put there to remember the many Jewish lives she so bravely saved. 50 years later, it's still there, reminding us of an ordinary woman who was indeed extraordinary. Thank you.